Welcome to Pushing Performance, Health and Fitness. We're here today to guide you through the physical fitness testing, which is a requirement of the SAASTA program. So we're going to start off with our sit and reach. I've got Paul here to help me out. He's going to be our participant for this section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Paul to grab a seat on the floor. He's going to sit with his heels up against the step. He's going to have his back nice and straight, and from there we need to make sure as well that there is no gap underneath his legs. The way that we're going to conduct this test is that we're going to start by asking Paul to reach forward with his arms extended as far as possible. He's then going to return back to the starting position. The reason we do that to start with is that we want to establish whether Paul is going to be a positive or a negative number. So now we're going to start our test. The way it works is we're going to grab our tape measure. What we have found then is that Paul is going to be a positive number, so he's going to go past his toes. I'm going to set up as a scorer with the tape measure just in the middle of one of his toes. I'm then going to ask Paul to lean forward and hold the position for 3 seconds. 1, 2, and 3. And he'll return back to the starting position. So at that point now, we've got a position of 6.5 centimetres. For our next test, we're going to be going through the 3-minute step test. What I'm going to do in this test here is I'm going to ask Paul to come over to the front of the step. Now before we start this, what we need to do is establish his resting heart rate. To do that, I'm going to ask Paul to place 2 fingers on the side of his neck until he can feel a beat. When Paul indicates that he can feel a beat, he's going to let me know. And I'm going to ask Paul to count for 15 seconds how many beats he can feel. I need the first one to be 0 as well. So we're going to start in 2, 1, go. And stop. Paul, can you give me a number for that? 12. So we're going to remember that number for after the test. What we're going to do now is we're going to start our test, and we're going to ask Paul to step up onto it. So it's up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Paul's going to continue that same pace for 3 minutes. At the halfway point, I'm going to ask Paul to start leading with his opposite leg. So here we are, still going through our 3-minute step test. Paul has about 10 seconds to go. As you can see, he changed over halfway through and he's now on the opposite leg. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. I'm now going to ask Paul to grab a seat on the step. And what we have to do here is we need to start a 1-minute recovery. So we need our participant to stay still, nice and relaxed, no talking for a whole minute. Now that we're there at the end of that minute, I'm now going to ask Paul to find his heart rate again. So take 2 fingers to the neck, again looking for a 15-second count. Ready, and go. Stop. Paul, can you give me a number for that one? 6. Okay, so for our next test, what we're going to be looking at is our vertical jump. Now, with the vertical jump, we don't expect you guys to have a vertical jump machine or a post that's specifically designed for the vertical jump. For the purpose of this test, what we have done is we've actually drawn our height on the wall. You can do this by chalk, you don't have to actually get a permanent marker at all. What you need to do is you need to make sure that when you do measure it, you start from the bottom of the floor on a flat surface and extend up the wall as high as your highest participant can jump. So what we're going to do here is we're going to ask Paul to take a piece of chalk. He's going to hold that piece of chalk no higher than his index finger. What's going to happen to start off with, I'm going to ask Paul to take his most dominant hand up alongside the wall so that we can establish his standing height. If you can have a look here, Paul is at 240 centimetres. What we want to do is we want to record that score so so that we can use it after when we're trying to establish what our jump height is. What's going to happen here is I'm going to give Paul two chances. His first one is going to lower down in a squat position, jump as high as he can with a controlled landing. Good. So what we can see there is that's our warm-up set. You can see that Paul jumped a height of about 295. We're now going to ask for his test score. Okay, this is the one that counts. Ready, Paul? Okay. So, as you can see there, Paul's jumped up again, and that's the score that we're going to take. So for this test, we're going to be using the push-up. This is one of the most commonly used exercises to test upper body strength. What we're going to ask Paul to do here is to start in a push-up position. That means that we're going to have a straight line from the base of his head all the way through to the heels. The feet are shoulder width apart, the stomach is nice and tight so we do not have a curve in the lower part of the back, and our hands are wider than shoulder width but directly underneath the shoulder. Our eyes are consistently looking forward during the test. I'm going to ask Paul to lower down to 90 degrees at the elbow and continue the reps until I say to stop. What I'm looking for as the assessor is that if Paul's back starts to arch or he doesn't get 90 degrees at the elbows, I'm going to ask him to stop, and that's when we cease our counting. As you may notice in our test, we also have the option for females to use the knees. What this means is that our body position does not change apart from the flexion at the neck. We are still looking for a straight line from the head down to the knee joint. The hands are in the same position. What I'm going to ask Paul to do is to again lower down to 90 degrees at the elbows, eyes are looking forward, and what we're trying to do is not lose this technique. We do not want to see the bottom come up too high, and we don't want to see the bottom go too low. We're now going to go through the wall squat test. What we're looking for in the wall squat test is a couple of things. To start off with, I want to see that the participant's ankles or heels are directly underneath the knee. We also want to see that the knee is at a 90-degree bend as well as the hip. The feet are shoulder width apart and there is no arch in the lower part of the back. The participant needs to have their arms relaxed on the side of their body and their eyes are consistently looking forward throughout the test. We're going to ask our participant to hold that position as long as possible or until they lose that 90-degree bend at the hips or the knees. We're now going to go through our crunch test. What we're looking at here is testing our abdominal strength. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask my participant to lay flat on the floor, nice and relaxed. He's then going to place his hands onto his legs, and he's going to allow his body to crunch up until this part of your hand reaches your kneecap. You got this up, Paul? Paul's going to continue those reps for 2 minutes, counting each one that he gets to his knees. Paul's eyes are looking forward, and if you have a look, his feet shouldn't be coming off the ground. If during the 2 minutes we find that Paul's feet come off the ground, or he doesn't reach the knees, we're not going to count those reps. We're now going to go through the hover test. For this test, very similar to the push-up, there's a couple of key indicators that we're looking for. First being that their eyes are looking forward about 20 to 30 centimetres in front of our knuckles. From there, we want to make sure there's a straight line from the base of the head, extending all the way down to the heels. Our belly button is pulled in towards the spine. That way we can ensure that our core is switching on and that it's tight through the stomach. We also want to make sure that our hips are not too low and not too high. Our elbows are directly underneath our shoulders and the hands are coming together in the centre. We're going to ask our participant to hold this position as long as possible. If we find at any stage during the test that there is an arch in the lower part of the back, or if the bottom comes up in the air, we're going to ask our participant to stop and we'll cease the time. We're now going to go through our 100-metre sprint test. For this, you may do it outside, unless you have an indoor option that is a suitable distance. What we need you to do is to find a couple of markers to start and a couple of markers at the end. What's going to happen here is I'm going to time Paul running the 100-metre sprint test. The way it works is I'm going to ask Paul to approach the line. He's getting into his ready position. When I say go, he's going to take it as hard as he can and run through the finish cones. Ready? Set, go! As you can see, Paul's headed off towards the end of the marker. With that test there, we want to make sure that we get an accurate time. If Paul happens to fail at it and you'd like to try again, we are willing to give 2 options. Our final test that we have to investigate is our 1 kilometre time trial. Now that's going to be different the way it's done for each person. What you need to do is you need to establish a route which is either on the street, utilising an oval, or somewhere which is a suitable, safe area. What you'll need to do is you need to make sure you've got a stopwatch with you and you've got a clear indication as to how far you need to run. The way it will start is that you'll begin, start the watch, run as fast as possible. Walking is an option if you need to. At the end of the 1 kilometre, stop your time.